Gavin Newsom and state lawmakers have just 7 days left to finalize California's budget. Last week, the Senate and Assembly passed their version of the $325 billion budget, aiming to close a projected $12 billion deficit. In doing so, they rejected many of the governor's proposed cuts, including reductions to public transit, higher education, and state worker raises. But one major sticking point, Medi-Cal. The program has become more expensive than expected, and lawmakers remain divided with the governor on how best to rein in costs. And one of the governor's proposals took aim at eligibility for low-income seniors and Californians with disabilities. State lawmakers came up with a compromise in their budget, but disability advocates say that they're still fighting. ABC's Becca Habecker joins us in studio now to explain.
Yeah, Alex, seniors and Californians with disabilities need to be low income if they're on Medi-Cal. That's part of the point of Medi-Cal, to help those who can't afford private insurance. But a cost-saving measure in the budget adds an additional financial requirement for those groups. And advocates say the budget shouldn't be balanced on the backs of the most vulnerable.
We introduced you to Elizabeth Gesamburu this spring as she spoke out to preserve Medi-Cal eligibility for Californians with disabilities.
I was born with a severe neuromuscular disability, and so I rely upon Medi-Cal and IHSS.
Her eligibility for Medi-Cal and in-home supportive services was threatened last month when Governor Gavin Newsom released his May revision of the budget. In it, he proposed reinstating something called the asset test.
It kept us in poverty. It kept us as second-class citizens.
For decades, a single person couldn't have more than $2,000 in assets. For a couple, that limit was $3,000. The limits did not include the value of a primary home, vehicle, or retirement fund, but did include things like a regular savings account, cash, and a second vehicle. Starting in 2024, after a long fight by advocates, the asset test was eliminated, and tens of thousands of newly eligible seniors and people with disabilities enrolled in Medi-Cal. This spring, to cut ballooning Medi-Cal costs, Newsom proposed bringing the asset test back, saying it would save $94 million this coming fiscal year and $540 million the next.
I think this is going to lead to more homelessness of seniors and the disabled.
Assemblymember Pilar Schiavo at a hearing last month said $2,000 and $3,000 were unrealistically low limits, so she helped lead the effort to compromise in the legislative budget. It still includes reinstating the asset test, but with a limit of $130,000 for a single person and $195,000 for a couple. The projected budget savings are $45 million the first year, $343 million the next.
I have mixed feelings about it.
Gesamburu says an asset limit of $130,000 is better than $2,000, but it still means bringing back an additional barrier to accessing healthcare and makes it hard to save for things like an expensive wheelchair-accessible van.
While on the outside and from the political sphere, it appears to be a compromise, for us, it's a step backwards. We're being asked to give up rights in the name of the budget.
I understand their disappointment of it feeling like you're going backwards.
Schiavo says she hopes in the future the state can afford to once again eliminate the asset test, but for now, a compromise has to be made.
There's a lot of really, really difficult choices because of our budget deficit, and I think that this at least provides the kind of safety net that will protect people, keep them out of homelessness, keep them having the health care that they need. And at the end of the day, that really, is our goal.
Whether her compromise sticks depends on these final days of budget negotiations.
I reached out to the governor's office today. They declined to comment specifically on the asset test reinstatement. Instead, they pointed me to prior remarks the governor has made, saying he would prefer not to make cuts, but, quote, we have to be responsible, we have to be accountable, we have to balance the budget. Alex?